Hey everyone, welcome back to another week in the life of a design student video. Thank you all who watched last week's video. It was kind of long, I'm sorry, but there was a lot to go over and I hope you didn't mind how long it was. This week's video, on the other hand, will be a lot shorter because there's not as much to go over, but still, worth making a video about. So anyway, I'm not gonna flaff about too much, I'm just gonna get straight into the video. Hope you guys enjoy, and new backdrop. How do you feel about that one? I don't know. I think I prefer last week's one, but we're trying this out. Anyway, this week is, what is it? Week 10? Week 9? Week 9. Week 9 starting on the 4th of November. As always, I start my weeks on a Monday, like every other human being, and I spent the day working at a Magica. Yay! I swear every time I'm doing a vlog, I'm always working at Magica on the Monday. I don't know why, but it's just a really good way to start my week. So I was working at a Magica, and first thing was I walked into the studio and I saw a pile of calendars on my desk, and Steve said, "You're going to make a calendar for Red Rooster." This is one of the things I absolutely love. I've never made a calendar before, but projects at Magica are like so different from what I do at uni because I just walk in and Steve tells me what I'm doing that day and I get maybe 10 minutes tops chatting to him about what it is, like the brief of that I'm making and maybe some like example material as to what they want the calendar to look like, instead of where I'm at uni and I get the brief and then I spend a week researching and then a week thinking and then a week making. Like, it's literally 10 minutes and bam, you're into it and you're making it straight away. So I've never made a calendar before, and it was quite interesting playing about with the layout of it and kind of looking at different examples of how other companies have made their calendars, and also getting to use the photography that I helped shoot with Joe Addy way back in August or June. I think it was August. So yeah, I kind of knew what the content was, and that's why Steve said, "Could you do the calendar?" And then maybe about an hour or two into my working day, I had to drop my task of making the calendar and switch on to making a map for a oil company that we're working with, Warrego. I was basically just redoing a map they already had, just making sure it all fitted with the styling of their brand and making it really clear and effective so that, when they're pitching to people, it's easy enough to understand. So yeah, it was fun getting to edit a PDF in Illustrator, so I had to redo everything because none of the text was actual text. It was all outlined, so I had to retype everything. Tuesday is one of those days where I had a lot of meetings, and like I said in last week's vlog, meetings are darn right boring, but I feel like it's probably the most essential part of being a designer, or at least in this industry. Like, you're just having meetings and constantly chatting to people all the time. So I had a meeting for Grey's Film Nights, and then New Blood, and then the last meeting of the day, which is probably the funnest one, was going to TX and presenting our ideas. So we're working with TX as a collaborative group, like maybe 10 of us, but we're all doing individual projects within that. And the girl who we're coordinated with is called Sam. So we basically just walked in with all our work and each of us pitched what our idea was and spoke about it. And she pretty much approved all of them. She was really excited to see what we were going to do with it. I, of course, want to do video work with them. I really like the latest kind of video editing I've been doing with Hard Grind and Grey City Aberdeen. I need to keep calling them the new name now, I get confused. So I'm really excited to do that now with a skate park. I think that's going to look really cool when I do it. After the meeting at TX, my friend Bronwyn kind of not made me, but she was very much like, "You're going to skate with me tonight." And I was like, okay. I've never ever stood on a skateboard before. I've only longboarded, and when I longboard, it's very, very basic longboarding, like nothing fancy about it. So I stayed after the meeting to go skateboarding with Bronwyn. And the reason I'm including it in this vlog, I know I'm always talking about design and like stuff like that, but I feel like skateboarding and learning how to skateboard at the age of 23 is a very different thing. I had this perception that, I'm too late in the game to learn. Like, you learn when you're young, it's so much harder when you're older. And I was kind of like scared of getting on a board and doing it. But I feel like it wasn't all that hard when I actually did it. And okay, yeah, I fell a fair few times. I split a hole in my trousers in the first 10 minutes on my arse. And I walked away with a very sore ankle and toes and butt. So yeah, I by all means suck but I'm learning and I'm really excited to learn, and I feel like documenting the process of somebody who's a little bit older learning how to skateboard is kind of cool. So maybe I'm going to do a project on that, but I don't really know what yet. We'll see. Wednesday I was working at Magica again. Unfortunately I wasn't working on the calendar stuff because I got thrown this other project, which, stressful, is editing a video with like 3D text flyover stuff with drone footage, again for the oil company Wargo that I'm working with. It's quite hard sometimes doing video editing for other people when I already have a very set video style. Like, I know how to video edit. Like, I'm not undermining myself in that field. Like, I know what I'm doing when I'm editing video. But it can be kind of hard when people are asking me to do something that's not within my style. And I actually spoke to people about this. Like, how do you work to what your client's style is, or what your boss's or your studio or whatever style is, when you have a very different, unique style? I find it very difficult. So actually, after I was working at Magic on the Wednesday, I went to have a meeting with my stage 2 coordinator, Nicola, and a fellow couple of graduates, Hannah, who works at 42 Studio, Lewis, who is an illustrator freelancer, and that was it. Well, in terms of graduates, and then we had a couple of people from our class and somebody from stage 3 and a nest call lecturer as well. So there was a nice group of us just chatting away, and I was speaking to, I believe, Hannah, about how do you work to a different style, because obviously she works at 42, she's maybe not working to like her usual style, she's working to a very specific client style. And the advice she gave was really beneficial, and like really made me feel a lot more at ease with working on stuff that's not in my style, is that you're not representing yourself anymore, you're representing 42 or a Magica. You're not representing your own personal style in this work. That's what your portfolio is for, that's what your side projects are for, that's what all your uni work is for. Certain jobs won't be in your style, and like that's just how it is. Like, you just edit to the style that you need to edit in, and sure, it doesn't reflect personally on you because your name's not attached to it, it's the brand that you're representing's name that is attached to it. So long as it's good, that's all that matters. But also, yeah, that meeting on Wednesday night was crazy. Like, we went there to go talk about New Blood and just catch up and have chats about design. Like, I absolutely love going out and having a couple of drinks with some designers and just talking about the practice that we work in. It's just such a good way to feel really motivated and feel really connected in this industry that can feel so crazy busy all the time. Like, my mind half the time is like, what is going on? So it's really nice to meet up and have these kind of chats with other creatives. Thursday I actually went to uni. Woo! I actually did some uni work because I've not done any this week so far. I went into uni and I didn't actually film anything in uni, I don't think. Sorry. I think it's because I was just writing on my dissertation. What? So yeah, Thursday I was working on my dissertation. I was focusing on typing up questions for interviews for people on Instagram. I'm kind of targeting people who do a lot of social media presence for their work and seeing how that reflects on their mental health. That's kind of like my dissertation topic. I left uni early because I was meeting Mark to have lunch and go shopping before we went to see Catfish and the Ballman. They were playing in Aberdeen, and I love them so much. We had such a good night. I got this hat. It's fucking cute. I love it so much, and I'm so happy with it. It's cute. It's funny seeing Catfish and the Bottom again so soon, because those of you who may have seen the vlog, back in February, me and Mark went and saw them in London, and it was our first time. Well, no, it wasn't our first time going away together. We've been away together before that, but it was the first band we ever saw together. And I was really excited because I'd never been to such a concert like that with him before. And it made me really appreciate music a lot more, and seeing them. So yeah, it was a really good concert. Loads of people I knew went. I was like looking on Instagram, kept seeing them up with stories. So yeah. Friday was actually yesterday, because I'm keeping up with this vlog thing. So yesterday I stayed in bed till like 12 because, hangover. I didn't have a hangover, I just wanted to stay in bed. The power was out at uni, so there was no point me going in. So I just stayed in bed with a hot water bottle and did dissertation stuff. There's a lot of dissertation stuff I still have to do. I've got to write. The goal is 6,000 to 8,000 words, and my draft is due on Monday the 18th of November. So I've got another week to write. But the draft is definitely not going to be that long. You just cannot write that much. So I'm kind of aiming for at least 4,000 for my draft, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. It's great. And then also on Friday, some of you may have seen across Instagram and Facebook that I made the decision to close Lucid Thoughts Apparel. This has not been done lightheartedly. Like, I have been thinking about this for a few months. It's not closed forever. This isn't the end. I just need to do this temporarily to get back on track. You watched last week's video, you'll know I have millions of things to do at the moment. Like, so many things are going on, and I just feel like I can't dedicate enough time to Lucid Thoughts as what I want to. It's sad, but that's how it goes. I'm taking this time to, chill out, give myself a little bit of a break, because Lucid Thoughts got to a point where I wasn't feeling the same amount of joy as what I did when I first started. Like, if somebody asked me something about it, I wouldn't give the same enthusiasm. I would kind of be like, don't talk to me about that because it stresses me out. I just wasn't feeling the love. Also, I didn't have enough time to, promote it the same, do some new shoots, new designs. Like, it just didn't have the same level of involvement and engagement as it used to. I also realised there's a few problems with the actual branding, seeing as I've now been studying branding for like a year now. I now know what makes proper branding, because I did the brand like a year ago. So it's not that it doesn't work, it's just it doesn't fit quite right. So it's a learning experience. Like, I've now learned that I need to work on that. I'm quite sad, but it's not forever. I'm hoping to have up again I don't know. It might be a couple of months, it might be 6, it might be a year. I really don't know. And yeah, that's kind of been my week. It's not been very exciting. I'm kind of sorry about that. It's more just me chatting to the camera and just some snippets of what I've been doing, but it's kind of boring filming dissertation stuff and meetings. Like, I'm hoping next week I'll do some like illustrations or something, but it's probably going to be more dissertation stuff, if I'm honest. If you want any of the leftover stock from Lucid Thoughts, there's like a couple of t-shirts that I'm just trying to sell dirt cheap. Check out the Facebook page. I would say check out the website, but the website I'm going to turn off soon because it doesn't update my stock levels, and I'm really scared someone's going to buy a t-shirt that's not there. So I'm gonna just take down the website shortly. So yeah, check out the Facebook and just send a message to the page if you're wanting anything, and then we can just PayPal. I don't really care. It's fine. Right, I need to go to work, so I'm just gonna end the vlog here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys again soon. Bye.